Hey folks, hey Long Beach, it's Jerlene and I'm live. I'm actually live sitting outside of the Long Beach Unified School District office. I just walked out of the Long Beach Unified School District board meeting after giving public comment. And several weeks ago, I was sitting outside in the same patio area when I had the intention of giving public comments, got here late, wasn't able to give comments. And it's interesting, the comments that I had intended on giving then has shifted, yet it was still about the Black Student Achievement Initiative that Long Beach Unified commissioned last year. So I just wanted to go live and talk about, and I have a question. Does equity and excellence apply to Black students in Long Beach Unified School District? So in 2020, so this is part of what I mentioned in my public comments, but I want to share this with the public now. In last year, during the budget year, Long Beach Unified made a financial commitment to Black students of $750,000. That commitment was made in the 2021-2022 budget. The initiative called for an advisory group council, Black Student Achievement, BSAI, the council group advisory. I had an opportunity to sit on that council or group for about 9 months, and a lot of discussions about what we're going to do, what we want, what can happen. Yet one thing that I've learned over the years in being an advocate in community, you have to be able to talk about the money. Where is the money? How is the money being spent? Where does the money come from? Does the money even exist? Because so often we have this wish list of things that we want, but we don't apply them to the district speak, and district speak is money. So anyway, last year, this Long Beach Unified School District committed $750,000 to Black students. It's not a lot of money, okay? When you're dealing with a school district that has almost $1 billion budget, $750,000 is nothing, okay? Well, anyway, after months and months of asking about the budget, what does the budget look like? Where's the money going to go? How is the money being spent? And asking multiple levels of staff. Now, mind you, I have access to staff. I know the staff name. I've sat in the meetings with the staff. I'm meeting. I know their emails. I know how to pick up the phone and call them. So it wasn't like I was a stranger to who is connected, who is involved, who's responsible. Yet it was like this passing the buck. Oh, well, I don't know. Ask so-and-so. Well, I don't know. Ask so-and-so. Well, let me ask somebody. So after months and months of not getting an answer, I reached out to Public Advocates and Children Defense Fund, and I requested of them to assist me in preparing a public records request, a PRA. And that basically goes to the legal department of the school district, because it's a government agency, and says, hey, we would like public records. And we received them, and I did that in June of this year. And, you know, part of me was a little nervous, like, what am I going to see? Have they misspent the money? Like, what is it going to look like? I was surprised and disappointed, yet hopeful. Now, get this, surprised, disappointed, yet hopeful that, and what I saw. Well, of the $750,000 that was allocated for the Black Student Achievement Initiative, as of June, $655,000 of it remained. So that meant the money was not spent. Well, they did initiate a summer program called Sankofa. So my mind, although I don't have proof, I haven't seen record, was that this funding is probably going to go to help support the summer program. That's great. Yet again, there was a budget, but the budget didn't really speak to Black student achievement. So after this findings and sitting with the group of folks, parents and advocates, to go over our findings, there was multiple things that came up. The biggest thing for me was the money part, right? The budget part was like, hey, let's have a conversation with the district. Because one, remember I said I was hopeful. The hopeful part was, okay, they weren't quite sure how to spend the money yet. I'm sure they got good intentions. What do we need to do to be able to support this moving forward, to make sure that those funds are truly serving Black students? Unfortunately, some type of barriers got placed up, and communication, which was already a lack of communication, because if there wasn't lack of communication, I wouldn't have to do a PRA to get the information, right? Got blocked, barrier. Maybe it's because I did a PRA. You know, how dare, community member, parent utilize resources to get information when information has not been granted? How dare I do that? So maybe, they're a little mad about it or whatever. But anyway, that barrier sent me to the school board meeting today to make sure that I put it on public comment. Now, honestly, I didn't want to do that. Reason I don't, I'm just so tired of fighting, so tired of having to go the hard road for everything, so very tired of that. Like, there's this conversation about transparency, there's a conversation about communication, there's a conversation about equity and excellence. Well, let's sit down at the table and let's have a conversation without having to do the extras. So anyway, today I came to the school board meeting. And what's interesting about this, the Black Student Achievement Initiative program, which has been bothering me for months and months and months and months and months, but I've tried my best to be patient and waiting to see what yields, is the fact that the Black Student Achievement Initiative is placed under the Communications and Community Engagement Department, not on the curriculum. So when we think about Black student achievement, right, the failure for Black students is the academic failure. It's the gaps. It's the gaps in the learning. It's the fact that less than 50% of Black students are English language or successful in English language arts. English is our first language. Not everybody Black speak English. Not everybody Black is monolingual, right? Yet, for the majority of us, it's our primary language. So how can we be failing in something that we were born into, right? So achievement, yet it's under the communications department. So I didn't say this in the board meeting. I was thinking in my mind, was the Black Student Achievement Initiative put under the communication and community engagement department because it's ran by a Black man? If that is the reason, that's a problem. Now, again, these are things that I've had on my mind for a while, and I really wanted to be able to sit at the table and express these, and I have expressed them in my committee meetings. But clearly, the thoughts that I've shared has been ignored, which it was. I mean, that's a whole nother thing. I don't even want to talk about my experience in that committee meeting. I don't want to, because I don't want to diminish people in their role or whatever, but I could tell you that I was treated less than. And part of it is because I don't have title, I'm just a parent. But one thing that I often have to remind people in education, if there were no parents, there were no guardians, there would be no children. And if there were no children, there would be no school district. There would be no jobs. So that's the thing people have to remember. I am a customer. I am a client. My child is a customer. My child is a client. So lately I've been having the conversation about, customer service is dead. Customer service definitely is hanging on a thread at Long Beach Unified School District because they forgot who their customer and client is. Now, anyway, I digress. The one thing that I forgot to do today, that I failed to do in the board comments, the one thing I failed to do was to make this statement. We want the unspent BSAI funds from last year to be added to this year's budget of $750,000, because in this year's budget, with the process we just went through, they've allocated another $750,000. Therefore, we request that the budget and the LCAP be amended to reflect a $1.4 million budget for BSAI this year. I did not make that request. I am going to have to come back to my little person's over here doing the most. I am going to have to come back and make that request, because that was something I was supposed to say today. I did not say that. So, another comment that I had made is like, okay, there's an issue with Black students within the school district, not just Long Beach, it's across the state, it's across the nation. Yet what does it say when you don't spend the money that you said that you're going to apply to their success, right? What does that say? Does it say it's not that big of a deal? Does it say there's really not a problem? Does it say you really don't give a darn? What does it say? And that's where I go back to the question. Does equity and excellence apply when we're talking about Black students in Long Beach Unified School District? So anyway, I will be back on this, and when I come back with this, I mean, I'm going to keep coming back, and I'm going to keep coming back, and I'm going to keep coming back. Hopefully I'll be able to be in a full dialogue with other people who have worked on this. So let me give some history real quick, and then I'm going to wrap it up. The reason I'm so passionate about this, and the reason why this matters, I've been at this for over 15 years. So this is the first time in the history that I've been advocating for students, specifically Black students, for money to be applied, right? This is the first time. So of course I'm going to watch it. And hopefully everybody else is watching it too. Because if there's no money, there's no services. If there's no money, there's no changes. If there's no money, there's no programs. You know, we learned yesterday that a tutoring program was eliminated because they didn't have enough students, the same students were attending. Well, why is that? What kind of outreach took place? Did someone go and say, your child is, we offer tutoring, we notice that your child is suffering? What do you mean you eliminated it? So, but those type of things happen when we're not consistent in holding people accountable. School districts exists because people exist. Even if you don't have children, you pay into the school district. If you are a property owner and you pay property taxes, you pay into the school district. If you're a renter and you pay rent and your landlord pay their property taxes, you are paying into the school district. So remember that. This is just not a me problem. It's a us problem. It's not just a parent problem. It's a everybody problem. It's a everybody concern. But I'm going to go, y'all. I'll be back, and I am not letting this one go, baby. I'm not letting this one go. So Jerlene Tatum sitting outside of the Long Beach Unified School District building, talking about Black Student Achievement Initiative, money and accountability, and asking the question, does equity and excellence apply when it comes to Black students in the Long Beach Unified School District?